Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I want to talk about some very powerful champions in the game that have this very unique ability, okay? Only a few champions can master this power in Raid, guys. I strongly suggest you to have at least one of them at level 60, but probably some of you guys might be very familiar with these champions. Some of you that started the game recently might not be as familiar. So I want to explain you everything about these champions in today's video, guys. How to use them and where to use them to get the most out of them. I'm gonna start with one of the epic champions. Now, she is one of the most powerful champions, right? If we're gonna go at the Dark Elves, we have Madame Serris. The unique ability that I want to talk about, guys, is Strip Buffs AoE. Removes all buffs from all enemies. Is a very, very powerful skill. So one thing to keep in mind, Madame Serris, she is one of the most powerful champions that does this in the game. And anyway, nobody has this unique ability. Removes all buffs, decrease attack and defense down on all the enemies for 2 turns. Now, Plarium attempted to nerf Madame Serris a while ago, but they stood no chance because they got feared and they ran away. Basically, she is a legendary champion in disguise. Very good base stats. She was released during one of the Halloweens, kind of like an addition to the game. Her passive has a chance to land fear. Plarium got fear from her passive and they cancelled everything in terms of nerfing this champion. The A2 has a chance to steal buffs and place immunity on all your team if she's actually stealing the buffs. The A1 has a chance to land fear. Now, when you're talking about this champion, Skratch, what can I do with Madame Serris? You can run her everywhere, honestly. You can use her for the Doom Tower, for dungeons if you're progressing in the game, don't get me wrong. But she is an arena champion. I am running one of them in my Faction Wars team. And mainly if you're not gonna have a raid, which we're gonna talk in just a second since we are at this faction, you're definitely gonna want to use a Madame Serris. So many champions in this game buff, guys. We have so many support champions that just buff rather than strip buffs or anything like that. So it's very, very important to have the right weapon to deal with them. And Madame Serris is one of those champions. Now, I would suggest you probably to build her either with accuracy set, perception, speed with accuracy and perception, or immunity with perception or accuracy. These are kind of like the main builds you would want to get on your Madame Serris. Now, if you want to think out of the box, you can go in arena and, I don't know, use a high resistance Madame with a bit of accuracy, use a stone skin Madame, because why not? It's kind of like an immunity set. Honestly, she is a rock star, an absolute beast of a champion. If we're gonna move over to the next champion, Ray, another amazing champion. I remember it now. So many people used to call Nerf Ray back in the day when she was one of the OGs, you know. Basically, she had tons of damage with the A1, defense down, the A2, which deals more damage on enemies with debuffs. But the A3 AoE strips all buffs and has a chance to freeze the entire team. This used to be so powerful back in the day, guys, when we had less champions that were doing this, because she was the only champion in the entire game to do it. No Madame Serris. Kymar actually was there as well. Sorry. So we had Kymar as well. Let me just correct what I just said. She has pretty decent base stats. Her speed is not that amazing. I don't like it that she doesn't start with any accuracy whatsoever. So that kind of puts me a bit down. But she is an amazing, amazing champion. You have different builds for her as well. Hybrid builds or damage builds. So I used to run her in my arena team before as a hybrid. So I used to have her on higher speed with tons of accuracy and almost no damage. I kind of prioritized to give her some crit rate, but she was doing an amazing job. Was kind of like catching the enemy off guard because she was coming in pretty fast, stripping all the buffs, freezing the enemy team. And then I used to have a different nuker to come in and clean up basically after Ray. Or you can run her as a nuker. She is a very strong Nightmare campaign farmer if you have decent gear. Amazing for Faction Wars. Amazing for some other dungeons. Her aura is very powerful. She actually carried me in quite a few dungeons when I was progressing through my missions to get my Arbiter. So definitely Ray, another beast of a champion. If you have all of them, guys, honestly, you will lose nothing if you have all of them at 60 because you're gonna find a use for all of them, which is crazy. That's how powerful these champions are. Even for Hydra, I use the Ray for Hydra with the Shamael team. The Hydra clan boss buffs a lot. it steals buffs, so it's very, very important to either have champions that steal buff or strip buffs, either have champions that place block debuffs on the enemy team. Now, funny enough, another champion that is very powerful, and guess what? Everyone can get this champion for free, is from the same faction, man. It feels like Plarium decided to put every single champion that strips buffs in the Dark Elves faction. Rian the Conjurer. So she is pretty badass too. You can get her from the normal Doom Tower. I think it takes you around 6+ months to get Rian the Conjurer if you are new to the game and you just started the Doom Tower, and that's considering that you're doing all the secret rooms. She is a bit different than the rest. She is a support champion. She doesn't have very amazing base stats, one thing to keep in mind. She's a bit squishier, but she can revive, okay? Revives a dead ally with 50% HP, then fills their turn meter and places a block debuffs buff on them for 2 turns. Pretty solid. You can actually pair her with a different epic champion that you are getting from the Doom Tower. The unique skill that she has, guys, 100% chance to strip all buffs from all enemies and places a weaken on all enemies for 2 turns. I ran her a lot in the Hydra clan boss because of the revive and strip buffs. She was actually a massive help in the very first rotations when Hydra got released. I haven't tried to use her in a while now, I'm not gonna lie about that. But she is a beast for Arena, guys. If you don't have a Madame Series, I would say she is one of the very best options after her. Of course, we have Kymar, which we're gonna get to him in just a second. With the A1, she has block buffs. She has an accuracy aura for all battles. Definitely a solid champion. Now, the only thing is that she doesn't bring you defense down, so you might want to try to use a stronger nuker or go against teams that they have higher HP. You can build her on accuracy sets, perception, speed, and mix them with accuracy or perception, or immunity mixed with the rest. Kind of like the same thing you would give to a Madame Series, just so you guys are aware on how to build her. The next champion that I want to talk about, guys, is gonna be no one else but Prince Kymar. Now, I started playing this game around 3 years ago. This champion was in the game, and the first thing I've done was to look at all the champions, right? Just to see how they're looking like. And there were 2 champions in the game that were like, wow, they look amazing. I want to get these champions ASAP. And I didn't really talk about their skills, just about the design, the look, the art, you know. Kymar was one of them, and Battle Khazar. So it took me a very long time to put my hand on this bad boy. But honestly, he is such a beast of a champion. We do have a 10x on him tomorrow, guys. I would still probably suggest you save your shards for the fusion, but Speed Aura for Arena, resets all skills, attacks all enemies on 3-turn cooldown, removes all buffs, places asleep. That's why he is so powerful in the current meta, so hard to counter if you don't have the right setup. And of course, he does have nemesis. For example, Force champions are creating him a problem because he can get weak hits, and because of the weak hits, he won't strip any of the buffs and land any of the debuffs either. So that's another thing that can go wrong with Kymar. On the A1, AoE, places poisons. I wish this skill would not be AoE, because a lot of times I'm putting the enemy team to sleep and then I get to overlap them and I gotta use this skill again, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna wake up everybody. That's definitely not a good thing to happen, you know. Again, you can build him the same way like a Madame Series. Accuracy, you can build him with perception, speed, immunity, depending on what exactly you want to achieve for your team. If you want to build this champion for dungeons, guys, for his A3, for speed runs, he is very powerful as well. Now, I'm running 2 of them in my Doom Tower runs because they strip buffs from the opponent and they're putting everyone to sleep. Plus, I reset all the skills. So Kymar is such an amazing champion, guys. Honestly, I just named you 4 champions. I would 6-star every single one of them. Now, it depends. If you don't have resources, you're gonna have to choose on which one to 6-star, which one of them will actually benefit your account more, and try to think about, where do I need this champion more? Just for Arena? I need him more for Faction Wars? And try to put all this in balance if you are short on resources and you don't know which one of the champions to 6-star, or have them on the list for the near future. One more legendary that I really want to talk about, guys. I use this champion a lot in Arena. Sitalia. Now, I used to have a very crazy build back in the day on immunity. Probably was one of the strongest immunity builds in the entire game. She used to be like 300 plus speed, 500 plus accuracy 2 years ago. That was like, wow, at that point, okay? And the whole idea with her is that she strips all buffs from the enemies, then decreases the turn meter and fills the turn meter of all your allies, depending on how many buffs she strips. This is very powerful on a 3-turn cooldown, fully booked. And then, with the A2, she has a very powerful heal. She can almost fully heal one of your champions, then get turn meter from them, get immunity, the A1 HP burn. Decent base stats, pretty good base speed, 108 speed. So honestly, Sitalia again, another champion that you can use in clan boss. If you want to use in clan boss, just make sure you're not fully booking this skill. Just don't get the cooldown because that's going to affect you with the stun. So if she's working like this, she's going to cleanse the stun for you, so you don't have to worry about that. She's going to strip the attack down from the clan boss. She's going to give you HP burn plus more healing. I would probably run her for faction wars as well. She can be viable for Doom Tower, for some bosses as well, like we have the Nether Spider, you have the Frost Spider, depending what exactly you have available on your account. But honestly, still a rock star for Arena. Definitely thumbs up for Sitalia, guys. Use her with confidence for your 3v3 Arena or whatever else you guys have going on there. She is an absolute beast of a champion. I know she's not getting a lot of love, especially since Kymar kind of came into the meta for the last like 6 months. She's not getting the love that she deserves. We have one more champion that I want to talk about, guys, and that is no one else but Seer. Probably you guys know her. She is one of a kind. Nobody else can do what she does with her Karma Burn. Epic champion, Void champion. Seems like pretty much most of them, they are Void as epics. Only Rian the Conjurer is not. Now she removes all buffs, and then she deals so much damage that you just can't believe it. The more buffs she steals, the higher the damage. She takes them from your team and from the enemy team as well. If you are building her for damage, which most of the people are, keep in mind she will need accuracy to strip buffs from the opponent, and she needs a 100% crit rate. If you're gonna rely on having a different champion to buff her crit rate from 70 to 100%, remember she's gonna eat the buffs, then deal damage. So she's not gonna have the increased crit rate on her anymore. So she's not gonna crit 100%. Very, very important to keep in mind. Best build on her is Savage. If you wanna farm waves faster, she is a beast of a champion. If you have a lot of different champions that buff in Arena, you can use her as your DPSer. She can smack pretty hard in Arena as well. But Savage is the only set I would recommend you for Seer. Now we have 3 more champions, guys, that they are not really doing the exact same thing. We have Gurgo from the Ogryn tribes. He only steals 2 random buffs, but is very powerful at the same time because he lands a freeze and grants an extra turn, so he can come in with this skill and smack an opponent, just rack it, kill it, and he deals pretty good damage. Kind of like Ray, you have 2 different options on how to build this champion. Since he's Void Affinity, you won't have to worry about any weak hits or anything like that. Now, my build that I had on Gurgo was a Swift Parry set, as fast as possible, with a lower amount of accuracy, around 300 accuracy, and as much damage as I could get next to the speed. That's what I prioritized. The speed to catch enemy off guard, crit rate, crit damage, attack, to be able to kill at least their nuker without having a problem, and at least to slow them down when they're attacking my defense team in Arena. Now you can run him in offense, you can run him for tons of different secret rooms in the game, run him for your faction war team, Doom Tower. He is a very powerful champion though. Again, not so much in the meta. Okay, so if you don't have a warlord, if you are thinking of using something like this for Arena, he can definitely fill in the slots, Swift Parry sets to keep him alive. Something that gives you more accuracy, maybe perceptions mixed with cruel or something like that, that allows you to kind of like get tons of stats on him. You know, it's a bit harder to build than a Madame series where you just focus accuracy with a bit of speed or stuff like that, you know. So definitely a thing to keep in mind. Then you have Venus and Cupidus. Now, the reason why I name both of them is because they only work together. It's hard to find anything in the game to do with both of them. They are a strong duo, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to use both of them in Arena. It's hard to fit both of them in your Doom Tower team. The only place where I would be able to fit them in without a problem would be the Hydra clan boss, hard difficulty, normal difficulty. They could do a strong job in there because Cupidus smacks pretty hard. So that's the only way her kit works. And again, build, it really depends what you want to do with the champions. Maybe Relentless works good for Venus. I kind of like that. You have defense down, HP burn, weaken, poisons from her. So she's a strong champion. I think Relentless or maybe even Lifesteal might be one of the best things that you could get on Venus. And we have one more epic champion that again doesn't have the chance to remove them 100%, but she has the 75% chance to remove all buffs. You know, and again, she attacks all enemies, she can get weak hits. I would probably not really recommend you to build Hope. I just wanted to name her out just so you know that she exists. But probably I would suggest you no, guys, don't build her. I attempted building her ages ago and I wasn't very happy with the result. The 75% chance is not big enough in order to make an impact on my team. It doesn't guarantee me anything, so I prefer to bring in a different champion. But guys, that was all for this video. Let me know if I missed any of the champions. Let me know which one of these champions is your ultimate favorite, okay? Who are you using the most? Madame Serris, Kymar, Sitalia, Rian the Conjurer? I'm very, very curious to know. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.